Time to take care of these Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League fans. Hello, people. Another beautiful day. Yeah. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good. Or excellent. What? What's up, Steam Deck fans? Steam Deck Tribe, Nation, Universe, World, Legion. What's good? Mob, what's happening? Squad, what's up? Nerds, geeks, and freaks, and you investigators, what's happening? Okay, you Suicide Squad fans. Kill the Justice League. Got an update for you from AMD. All right, listen to this. It says AMD just fixed Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League with this driver, with an official support for quote KTGL. This new AMD GPU driver will ensure your graphics card plays properly with the new DC Warner Brothers game. Oh yeah, and Steam Deck is benefiting from this. Make no mistake about it. Anyway, it says here AMD has just released its latest graphics card driver that brings with it official support for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and fixes a crucial issue if you're looking to play the game with it looking its best. It says the new AMD driver won't suddenly ensure that the Radeon RTX 7900 XTX retakes its subs $1,000 performance crown from the new RTX 4080 Super, but it will ensure that you can fire up ray tracing without the game corrupting. AMD described the corruption may be observed while playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League with ray tracing enabled. Without upgrading to this latest driver, we can only assume AMD is referring to graphical corruption rather than corruption of your soul morals or DC/Marvel allegiance. Says no new additions are listed for new drivers, but AMD does note a few known issues with the new release, including that Deathloop may experience extended load times on some AMD graphics products, and Dead Space may experience an application crash after enabling RTAO on some AMD graphics products. You can find the latest AMD driver download here. Meanwhile, the full release of AMD software Adrenaline Edition 23.40.2.3 are shown below. And then it says Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Fixed issue. Corruption may be observed while playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League with ray tracing enabled. Known issues. Deathloop may experience load times on some AMD graphics products, such as Radeon RX 6900 XT. Dead Space may experience an application crash after enabling RTAO on some AMD graphics products, such as the Radeon RX 6800. Excessive stuttering may be experienced when first playing a match in Overwatch 2. Audio may intermittently become out of sync with the video when recording from AMD software Adrenaline Edition using AV1 codec. Oculus Rift S may display with a green tint on the AMD Radeon RX 7000 series GPU. After a system reboot, Parsec application may experience a crash on some AMD graphics products such as the Radeon RX 7900 XT. And it says during Microsoft team meeting, the camera may intermittently display loop footage on some AMD products such as AMD Ryzen 7 7840U processors. And then it says important notes for users who previously installed an AMD software preview driver running AMD cleanup utility is recommended before installing this driver. AMD software Adrenaline 23.40.2.3 for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, Windows 10 and 11 driver, store version 31.0.24002.3001. Will you be firing up Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League despite a lot of less than favorable chatter about the new game? In Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League we preview actually found reasons to be optimistic about the new DC game. Look, let me say this. there are a lot of people that are talking about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League that never played the game. They never took the controller, sit in front of your monitor display or your consoles, whether it's PlayStation or Xbox, or they never sat in front of the Steam Deck or the OXO, ANEO, 1X, GPD, Lenovo, Logitech, and played the game. A lot of these people are just running their mouth. A lot of these YouTubers are just running their mouth, just to run their mouth, just to get some views and clicks. But they never played the game. It's the same thing they did with Starfield. They were showing video footage, but they never actually sat there and played the game. So when it comes to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, you have to play the game. I mean, sitting there looking at a footage is not playing the game. You're just looking at footage. When you're sitting there with the controller or the keyboard and the mouse and you're playing it, now you're actually playing it. Now you're seeing what the actual problem the game might have. For instance, with the Avengers, I played the game, and I can tell you from top to bottom, the game open worldness need to be fixed. That was one of the major big problems with the game, because the game was built to run like on a I'm gonna be real honest with you. The Avengers was built to run on a PlayStation 2 or a original Xbox, okay, or the 360 or the PS3. It wasn't built for like a PS4 or Xbox One or Series X and S, because when it came to the PS4 and Xbox One, when it came to the it was all about open world games. So that was one problem, and then the game needed a little bit more the game needed some more polish, and then it needed more more moves, and that's about it. Like games like Anthem. Anthem is open world, but Anthem need to be like where like in DC Universe, where you can fly up to the clouds and then take off, and then like with Anthem, like when you're in those suits, you need like a spin move, like a spin move, like spin to the left or right or whatever. But that was about it. But the game needs some expansions. But for Suicide Squad, a lot of people that are complaining about the game right now, a lot of them haven't played it. It may be a few handful of people that played the game, that played it, but the rest are just complaining just to be complaining. They themselves never sat there. And I'm talking about YouTubers that got their own channels, and they might have like, say, about 300,000 followers, or 500,000, 700,000, a million, whatever. Those people never played the game. They're just running their mouth just to run it. They never actually sat there and played the game. And that's a huge difference versus like you sitting there talking about a game and you never played it. I mean, you're sitting there talking about the game. I mean, you're sitting there talking about the game and you never played it, versus you sitting in front of the monitor and actually playing the game. Those are two big differences. Okay, so when it comes to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, there's a lot of people that never played the game. They're just running their mouth just to run it. Okay, they never played it. So people need to really start playing video games. Now me, for instance, I can say, okay, take Diablo for a minute. I have never played Diablo, ever. Never played it. Because I did some research on the game, and I got to find out what that word really means, and what it stands for, and what's the meaning behind it. But the other reason why I haven't played the game, because the game is too gory and too bloody. So too much blood in it. So I stayed away from it. Now that's me. I'm not gonna talk bad about a game when I never played it. That's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to talk bad about it. It's like I'm going to tell you, like, okay, that game is not for me. That game is not for me. You know what I'm saying? That game is not for me. Or I could say to the viewers, like, okay, if that game may be for you, or it may not be for you. And if that game is not, if it's for you, okay, that's your type of game. But if it's for you, then, I mean, if it's for, okay, if it's for you, then that's your type of game. But if it's not for you, play something else. Okay? And that's the best advice I can give to people when it comes to video games. If a game doesn't meet your, if a game is not for you, then don't play it. Play something else. If it's for you and you're into those type of games, then then that's what you like. You know what I mean? That's your type of game. I'm not gonna badmouth you and say, oh well, you know, this game is bad for you, you stay away from it. No, that's your personal decision. Okay, when it comes to video games, video games are about personal decisions. So when it comes to selecting games, you have to make the right decision on what game fits fits your play style, you know, versus not playing it and then bad mouthing it. So what a lot of people, what I see with Suicide Squad right now, I see a lot of YouTubers with their own channels that never played the game. They never played it. They never sat in front of the controller and played it. And they're bad mouthing the game. You know, they're bad mouthing the game, and then they're trying to put this. They're gonna like, oh, this game is bad. It's bad. You know, when they themselves never played it. Now, they could have said, okay, this game is not for me. I'm not gonna play it. It's not for me. Okay. But to tell the viewing public like, no, this game is bad. It's bad. When they never played it, you're taking what you're doing is like, okay, you're taking away the power from the user to make a decision on, like, okay, should I play this game? Should I play this game or should I not play it? Is this game for me, or is this game for me, or is it not for me? And that's what a lot of these YouTubers try to do. They try to take away the power of what's that word I'm looking for here? Choice. You know, the power of choice and decision from you. You know, me, I'm gonna tell you, like, okay, if this game is for you, okay, then that game is for you. But if that game is not for you, and based on the way you were raised or whatever, if that game is not for you, then play something else. Okay, so when it comes to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, man, a lot of these people have never played the game, man. They just sat there and watched a video, and that's very different versus you playing it, learning the controls, learning the mechanics, learning the play style, and you know, it's a big difference, man. So when it comes to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, man, you know, people need to play the game, you know, but to come out in front of the camera now, and this game is gonna fail, and this game is gonna fail, and you know, Rocksteady might lay off people because of this game. Now you're opening a can of worms, because how do you know that this game is going to fail? As a YouTuber that's sitting, you know, how do you know this game is going to fail? Look, there's about 7 to 8 billion people on the earth. There's 7 to 8 billion people. You're telling the public that the game is going to fail. The game is going to fail based on your false assumption, right? So now there's 7 to 8 billion people on the earth, right? 7 to 8 billion people on the earth. And let's say out of 7 billion people, 7 to 8 billion, 2 to 3 billion people play the game. So you're telling me 2 to 3 billion played the game is still a failure? Out of 7 to 8 billion people total on the world right now, 2 to 3 billion people play the game. Are you trying to tell me that the game is going to be a failure? That game failed? See what I'm saying? So YouTubers be saying stuff a lot of times, man. A lot of YouTubers be saying things, and you be like, wait a minute, man. How you know this game is going to fail? Do you know the amount of people that's on the earth? Okay, and based on that number, how many people out of that number play the game or haven't played it? So how can you say the game is a failure? You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of these YouTubers try to do. You know, they try to make false assumptions, man. The problem with Anthem needs to make some updates, and the open worldness needs to be fixed a little bit. The Avengers open worldness needs to be really fixed. Because if you look at Suicide Squad, and then you look at the Avengers, the open worldness in Suicide Squad is better than the Avengers. I'm just saying. So yeah, you can't say a game. The game might need some updates, but is it a failure? Not really. It just needs some repairs. So some people go overboard with when it comes to video games. They try to take power away from you in your choices and decisions, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Now when it comes to like a game like say any game like say Diablo and games like let's say Mortal Kombat, games like let's say Resident Evil, you know what I'm saying? Games like that. Those games come down to a personal decision, you know. Are those games for you? Are they for you, or are they not for you? You know, is that your type of game? Is that what type of games you enjoy? You know, if those are your type of games, me personally, I'm not going to take that power away from you and say, oh, this game is bad, it's bad. That's your personal decision. Okay? If that game is not for you, then it's not for you. Then play something else. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to these video games, man, people, you know, YouTubers have a tendency to try to take power away from you, you know, because with the Avengers right now, there are people still playing that game right now. They like playing it. They like playing it. Of course, they're running into some things that they're running into a problem where they run into a problem where they think the game might need some fix. But as far as the game goes right now, they're still playing it. They're still playing it. You know what I'm saying? So the game might need some updates, you know, and a little bit more polish. But is the game a complete a failure? Not. The only way I could say a game is not a failure, unless people are not playing that game, man. You can't say the game is a failure because some people love those type of games, and others don't, man. So yeah. But when it comes to Suicide Squad, man, people need to really play the game, you know. You know, Starfield went through the same thing. A lot of people were bad-mouthing Starfield before the game even come out. They just looked at the video clip and to start bad-mouthing the game because, you know, because they wanted views and clicks. They wanted to sound right. But that's a big difference versus you sitting in front of the TV or the monitor and playing the game, or you're on one of these portable handhelds, portable PC playing. Big difference. So, YouTubers, they need to play video games, huh? You know. And some of the hate that Suicide Squad is getting right now, it's unnecessary. You know, it's just that sometimes people want to sound like they're correct a lot of times. Look at The Last of Us 2. I ain't never played the game. I never played The Last of Us 2. Why? Because the developers try to incorporate same sex into the game. That's what they did. And that's what turned me off from the game, period. I never played it. That game ain't for me. I don't believe in that type of stuff. That game ain't for me. Okay? Now, for other people out there that believe in that type of stuff, that's their decision to make. That game might be for them. But for other people, that game is not for them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So when it comes to you know, these video games, you know, people got to really sit in front of the screen and play them. And people got personal decisions to make when it comes to playing video games. Like what is acceptable versus what is not acceptable. You know, yeah. But Suicide Squad Killer Justice League right now, it might need a little update, but AMD just fixed it. But is the game a terrible game? No. Like I said, there's 7 to 8 billion people on the earth. 7 to 8 billion people on the earth total. And if 2 billion people play the game out of 7 to 8 billion, is that game a failure? No, it is not. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars and Star Trek fan, or Dark Side. Go. Peace.